testing, 1 million, 2 million.
Everybody was started talking about him, and who the hell is Warren Buffett?
The Oracle of Omaha.
You do not have to cheat to make money.
He's the man who gave $37 billion to charity.
There we go.
I enjoy the idea of building an endowment fund up for society.
Here we have our 10-cent Coke machine.
Warren Buffett is the genius behind Berkshire Hathaway.
I'm Warren Buffett, chairman of Berkshire Hathaway.
The stock of the Berkshire Hathaway Company closed yesterday at $100,000 for each share.
Warren Buffett is probably the greatest investor we've ever seen.
Our dad, he said, Warren's like someone that can see in the dark.
He started with $10,000 in 1950, and now he's worth $40 billion.
But Warren Buffett is not your average American. If his appearance is as unremarkable as Clark Kent's, he has superpowers too, though his are all about making money.
He has tremendous analytical powers. He thinks of things that other people don't think of. When we were little, our dad said, Warren's like someone that can see in the dark. And I always remember that.
Warren Buffett, the middle child and only son of Howard and Leila Buffett, was born on August 30th, 1930, in Omaha, Nebraska, in the early days of the Great Depression.
There are bread lines, soup lines, all of that. His father's a stockbroker. He loses his job when Buffett's a small kid.
Howard Buffett sold securities on his own, but it meant lean times for the family. Still, when many Americans were eating in soup kitchens, Warren's mother skipped meals herself and managed to put dinner on the table for Warren and his sisters Doris and Roberta. Buffett already knew what it was like to be poor when, as a 6-year-old, he took his first step toward getting rich.
He pays a quarter to buy a 6-pack of Coke from his grandfather's grocery store, and he sells them for 5 cents each. That's a 20% return, and that's really what he's done all his life.
I think Warren inherited some of his ability, certainly with numbers, from my mother, because she was really good at that. She could add numbers faster than an adding machine.
And from his father, he learned something equally important.
You do not have to cheat or anything to make money.
I think his influence on all of us was a strong sense of truthfulness, honesty, and setting standards for yourself. Warren really adored my father.
Howard Buffett introduced his son to investing at an early age. Warren was only 11 when he and his sister Doris bought stock in the energy company City Service.
Early on, I sensed that he knew what he was doing. We got 3 shares for $100. Of course, the stock went down.
It went way down. Of course, he was in a panic. Then it came back. He sold for a little profit.
But soon it went up to 200.
He obviously learned it's not to sell too soon or something like that. I mean, he has always been, the habit's been to hold on to everything ever since then.
He started with $10,000 in 1950, and now he's worth $40 billion.
I wake up every night and think about it. No, now it's fun to look back on.
In 1962, Buffett had his eye on a New Bedford, Massachusetts textile mill called Berkshire Hathaway. It had one important thing going for it. The stock was cheap. 3 years later, he had bought enough shares to control the company.
It's a sort of a Ben Graham type of stock. It's traded down. The stock is traded down. The reason it's traded down is textiles are not such a good business anymore. But Warren thinks he can make a profit on it.
But soon, the going got tough.
He told the management, look, I want the cash out of this business.
So what he starts to do is to squeeze the business. And whatever little dollop of profit he can squeeze, instead of putting it back in the textile business, he buys an insurance company, he buys a chain of weekly newspapers, he buys a steel plant, and little by little, he begins to diversify, to reallocate the capital out of that textile mill into businesses with better futures.
And eventually it becomes a holding company for all of his other investments.
While Berkshire Hathaway the mill was withering, the holding company's assets kept growing. As an investor, Warren Buffett was phenomenally successful. He outperformed the Dow year after year, and in 1965, by a whopping 33 percentage points.